Hey everybody, welcome back to Mikey's Acre of Earth. On this episode, we get off the acre for a little mishap. But not only do I bounce back from this like nothing, leading up to this, I come up with some pretty cool stuff for our new Hot Wheels project. Hope you enjoy.
Well, it's fun to see what junk can be worth at Mikey's Acre of Earth.
On the last episode, I got all of the drafts figured out. I got the first draft that I ended up having to adjust to, and now I know that these snowmobiles are not going to be riding on the back of this rig. They're going to be right in the middle, where I thought I was going to be sitting. So before I really lock down on how the driver position is going to be, how this body gets cut up, I need to get these snowmobiles mounted together, and I need to get a chassis pieced into kind of a rolling frame, so I know that I can physically fit in this thing and then I can move forward with the pretty stuff on this body. So just because I'm gonna have so much of the chassis exposed underneath kind of the back deck of my body, I need to strip this aluminum as far as I can. I really just want to the mount, which is gonna land here. I really just want that much aluminum, so it just kind of looks like a little inner fender instead of this big deck. And then everything below that is going to be tubing to hold the track at the back. Because once I let the tension off from those two bolts on that rear bracket, that was what's holding the shock. So it's not changing the deck height or anything. So as long as I get everything even here, get my front cross member straight, I should be able to lock it all down, go ahead, build my cage forward, and then however I want the tension to land on those rear shocks, which would probably be a good thing to get Levi over here to help me, like hold tension on those, and then maybe even Levi and Darian. That way we can hold tension on both sides and try to make a cross member that goes in between the back that still looks good, because I have this wheelie bar that I don't really have a use for, but I might be able to use it as a bracket that you see under the rear deck, and it's chrome too, so it might look cool. I don't have many options with that, but I do have a lot of tubing, so worst case scenario, simple beam across and a spine mount. There was almost like no pressure on the back. It's just what holds everything at the right angle so the shocks can work and this track doesn't just fall out of the back of it, because that's what's holding it in place. But there wasn't really anything keeping it there rather than just a spindle or something. You know, like usually you have an axle or even a live axle on a go-kart, and this doesn't. It just has bracketry that holds around the pan that really just protects the rider. So all this stuff in the back is here just so you can sit on it. Once I get this thing stripped down, I've taken a ton of weight out of this, taken a ton of weight out of the Jeep, and I really see something that with me in it ought to weigh, I'm guessing about 1,200 pounds. And if I can get this little rocket ship to weigh 1,200 pounds, we're gonna have some fun this winter. All right, I'm gonna slice and dice the rest of these up, and then I'm going to move them to that square. That's the flattest square in the whole shop. Mennonites did a good job on that spot. So this square right here is where I'll build the rear clip, and then from the rear clip, I will start figuring out my driver position and my wheelbase. So I'll probably be dragging sheet metal back and forth for commitment purposes, but other than that, I think I pretty well know what I'm gonna do. I wanna get as close to the drawing as I can, but paper to pavement isn't about me making exactly what goes from paper to pavement. It's just about committing to something that I sketched down and being creative enough to adjust as time goes on and make it to pavement, because a lot of my ideas are so wacky that they're not realistic. You're like, oh, that looks awesome, and you're like, yeah, but the drivetrain goes through a human spine. You can't do that. So I'm trying to perfect my craft and be a life-size toy maker. I'm gonna get back to that. Thanks for being here, y'all. Love you. You wanna see what commitment looks like? I have the rear all attached to each other. We're connected now.
Oh my gosh.
So I got, this is gonna be like the rear cross member, I guess. If it was a regular car, that would kind of be over your leaf springs. So I need to build a connector that goes from that to the main hoop of the cage. Once I know where to mount that, how to mount that from this. I think what I've decided to do, the center of this is off center from where these two bolt together. So I think I'm gonna take a couple of these pre-made tabs, bolt them together, and then weld them to each one so I can bolt them together like that. I'm gonna do one on the top, one on the bottom. That way the snowmobiles can very easily slide apart if one were to blow up. Instead of having to rebuild it, I can just pull it out, buy another $700 or $800 snowmobile, cut it up and slide it in. So this is something that should really be able to adapt into anything over the years. Because I was looking at the drive assemblies and everything, they're all really similar. You know, from Yamaha to Kawasaki to Arctic Cat. I've cut myself somewhere. But now I've got to kind of figure out where the front axle goes and what shapes I'm gonna connect that front axle to that I can fit inside of. So, Trent's gonna be here today. Excited about that because it is our recording day 1 for the Hot Wheels build this year. He's been out chasing down a bunch of parts for us. Come here and check out what he brought. He stopped at Chris Day's in Ohio, picked up the hubs we're gonna use. I've gotta press those out. And then also, our old buddies at Eagles Mirror from the last episode, went up there and checked it out. They said, if you think of anything you need, let us know. I told them I needed a windshield after we looked, and look at what their scrap pile produces. Now, if we had a paper to pavement museum here on my acre of earth, this would be like museum quality, ready to go. So I think it's a brand new one they didn't end up needing. So I'm gonna cut it up into 1,000,000 pieces. There's probably more solid steel on this windshield frame than there is the snowmobiles, the Jeep and all. But not after today. By the time Trent leaves, I hope to have a chassis situation figured out. We will see. Still waiting on wheels. I got one wheel. Halfway there.
Hola.
There's some goggles right here for you, okay? For all the grinding stuff for your eyes.
Yeah, Daddy's grinding.
Hey! You want me to put these on for you guys?
Hey, I actually have a lot of work to do. All right, so what I have to do, see this front end right here? I gotta weld a couple things. And then once I get that welded up, I need you guys to help me sweep this stuff and set up a seat position. Today, all this. I actually have a lot of work to do. I only have to weld 2 more things and then we'll be sitting tight. I'll show you guys how to use a tubing notcher today too. important thing we've got to do right now. Drive it. It doesn't handle, bro. Can you move your feet forward? You got room to drive? How are we gonna do this, bud? We might have to, dude. We might actually have to. Those are both snowmobiles right there. That's two of them.
How do we put a feel in there?
So if I go, well, listen to me. If I go up like this with two of them, then I can put a pan under all of this that your body can fit inside of. So then you just have to fit inside of this pan. Yes, sir.
If we use that piece and cut it off, you can make like the top of this.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
If you cut those pieces, so if you cut that, you can make that. Then if you cut the other side and cut those both, it will just make a flat side.
That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do the flat side on the top of
Yeah,
this, just like you're saying.
It's 3 long, so it has to be 1, 2, 3, and that's 4.
Well, I have another one just like this though.
Ooh, where is it?
It's back there. See the red caps on the end? So I can cut 2 of these.
What kind of cap?
Laying over there on the floor. Stand up and you can see. And then this can mount up there. It'll mount on top, and then I'll go straight across the front so the Jeep nose can mount on it, just like you said. I think you got it figured out for me, dude. This is the better way, ain't it?
Let's look at this.
Is this the better way to do it?
Yeah, but look, I made a tiny little cover.
Pretty cool.
Say that again.
I don't know how I'm the one that figured this out. Because it's like, you got 3/4 of an inch on each side of 2 snowmobiles for it to stuff right in a Jeep. Chilly Willy, like the name is right there. It's begging for somebody to do this. I thought these engines were gonna be back here. Because in my head, when you're sitting on a snowmobile, I think you're over the engine and all the front stuff is just sleds. I didn't really have a frame of reference. But once you see like the motors in front of you on the snowmobile, you're riding, you know, the engine's here and you're sitting here. Like before, I'm back here. Fuel tank's here. So the part that you actually sat on doesn't even exist on this machine. But I don't know how a snowmobile powered Jeep named Chilly Willy hasn't existed yet. I'm glad. It's coming together just the way it's supposed to. It seems weird though, because it all fits together just like perfect. I'm waiting to run into the problem. It's probably me.
See how that sticks there?
Yeah.
And if anything, with a race car, you'd want it to go farther forward. You wouldn't want it to go farther back, ever. So I have to have the tires sticking out in front of the grill. I'm gonna commit to these rails, but I almost need a section in here that I can weld the cow and we'll figure all that out soon enough.
Going the dual snowmobile route here gets me into a different realm of Hot Wheels car 2. I go from a wild type car, which Big Deal's probably the wildest car I did, being motorcycle powered, but now I'm into radical world, which is what I want to express as an artist. And this kind of saves us a lot of things. It saved us money, and then it saved me so much time having to get a rear clip, a rear end, wheels, tires, everything. This is a motor, transmission, drive assemblies, and the most important thing was just to get them all locked together, square, and I wanted them as close as I could so the tracks looked kind of like a slick in the back. But from here I am going to shape the body from the front towards the back, and then these snowmobiles are really going to be the focal point towards the whole project. I could only get so far on the commitment of my body until I just ran out of reference material. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got so much rust from the back of the cow and those pieces of the quarter that I have left. The front of those are so rotten where it like meets in the middle that I just don't know how to commit to a shape there. And luckily, Nevin, which has been here since episode 1 with the Willie's wagon that he had, and now he's just so happened to buy another Willie's. He bought a CJ2A, and it ended up being the perfect reference to pull off, and he said that I could bring it over here for a few weeks and pull any patterns off of it I needed.
Bud, not too bad for coming from Kansas. What a great ball that is. Give me her over here. You bought one of these.
Got a PTO.
PTO.
Look at this. So this is the replacement for a tractor.
Yep.
Power takeoff on this thing.
All the aftermarket ones I found were slick.
And now we have some reference to use on this episode too, because we have a body to piece together, and now we have a body to pull patterns from.
reverses on top.
Okay. So just like Chevrolet transmission.
And second gear, it likes to pop out of second gear. That's pulsing just until you fix the secrets.
Yeah, go right. Go right.
Going downhill, just help it again.
Got it. We have got everything we need to get a roller. Let's get to work. Back to bearing. You excited yet? That's perfect. Okay. Alright, now put it. If we want him to go, look. This is one little spot. I need you to make sure you got it. Alright, now put it in your hand. Okay, now see these? Back it. You see a hammer here? I'm gonna get some more here. Give me some. And then watch what a castle nut does. What a castle nut does. Look. This is what we have. That one. I think that's good right there. You're extra to me, don't you?
We've got 58 days to go, and today is the exciting day I've been looking forward to, because I get to cut this body up and then figure out what my seat position looks like in my cage. Which, other than, you know, the tail section here, which is gonna be definitely a arts and crafts day, this is the biggest arts and crafts day, I would say. I got a full night's sleep, and I don't plan on sleeping again until I am ready to send Hot Wheels my entry form. We're less than 2 months away, and they don't even know I'm coming yet, but they'll know. Oh, trust me, they will know, because there is an ice age on the way. Grab your jackets. It's Chilly Willy season.
I guess it must be the season. Ain't no rhyme or no reason. I'll just taking it easy. It's my lazy day. Well, don't you never mind calling, 'cause I ain't a-coming. Just go right on by me and stay out of my way. 'Cause just a little deep thinking, it might start me to drinking. And I'm taking it easy, 'cause it's my lazy day. When John Henry was just a little bitty boy, no bigger than the palm of your hand, his mammy looked down at John Henry and said, that Johnny gonna be a steel driving man, Lord, Lord. Johnny gonna be a steel driving man. John Henry, he said to his captain, Captain, why don't you learn to sing? Driving 49 pounds from my hip on down. I love to hear that cold steel ring, Lord, Lord. I love to hear that cold steel ring. John Henry had a pretty little woman, and her name was Polly Ann. John Henry, he took sick and he had to go to bed. So Polly drove steel like a man, Lord, Lord. Polly drove steel like a man. John Henry went up on that mountain, had that steam hammer by his side. Well, he beat that drill to the end of the line, and he laid down his hammer and he cried, Lord, Lord. He laid down his hammer and he cried. John Henry drove steel on that mountain till that hammer caught on fire. Well, the very last words I hear old John Henry say, ooh, glass of water, I'm gonna die, Lord.
All right,
Ooh,
cool.
glass of water, I'm gonna die.
That feels good. We have 53 days until I have got to have this thing in Vegas. And I've got the chassis all sitting on its own now. What a relief that is. But I'm about out of steel, so I've got to get creative here, because I'm down to just the scrap that I've got left over from Ruthie's dad's. I used quite a bit of it on the bus when I redid it over the winter, so. It painted up nice though, like the deck and everything sprayed good. The metal cleaned up nice and finished just like a new piece of steel. So I'm gonna make all of my seat, and I think my foot area out of all of that steel. I don't need it to be really structural, and everything that he has is like thick angle, way thicker and heavier than I actually need, but it might be good to put a little bit of weight on the nose of this thing, because I can grab it and lift it up. It's really light. I got the body cut down the other night too. I ended up sectioning the grill 4 inches, and then I took 3 inches out of the notch for the hood and the cowl. So I ended up shrinking that all down. I don't know, thinking like shriveled up Chili Willy. So I want it to be all tight, and I thought that face gave that a lot more than the factory Jeep. This just looks like a skeleton to me. It always looked like a, you know, skull with the teeth hanging. And this one to me just looks like a little cheese. Which I think fits in better around here. All right, I'm gonna get to it. It is just so hot. Got a little play area set over there so the kids will stay busy, because we have got a lot to do in the next 53 days. I'm gonna get to it. Thank y'all for watching. Please tell your friends. And if y'all know anybody from Hot Wheels, Mattel, or any other toy company, send this to them. Show them what kind of wild man's walking the woods out here in Deputy, Indiana. Because I am paving a way off this gravel road to the toy industry, somehow, some way. And if you think you're the way, hit me up. Thank you, John and Danny Dwiggins, for the roll cage tubing. More sponsors. I'm not making the cone shaker out of this. I'm making the Chili Willy out of this. Chili Willy's that picture right there. Still gotta make all that. Be careful. On all these projects, I like to get a base frame done, what I call, you know, the first roller. So it doesn't have the cage in it, doesn't have the steering or anything, but I do have the chassis. I've got all the snowmobiles as close as I can get them in the back, and I'm ready to start cutting this cow and fitting it all around where my driver position is gonna be, and I can commit to what kind of shape I can truly pull off in reality for the Chili Willy. I know I wanna section this grill. I know I want to raise these fenders so I can get it low slung and looking like a dragster. The looks that I'm trying to go for in this is that mid to late 70s dragster, nostalgic, altered. Like even mudsling trucks out here are real wedged. They're not big four-wheel drives. They're wedged to go over top of the mud. So I want this thing to look like it could just skin over top of any loose surface on the planet. So I got the windshield cut down, and I've left the post as long as I could because it had that top cap to the windshield, and now I don't want that. I want like a roadster top. But I left them as long as I could, and then I'll adjust it once I get the frame made and attached, because I don't want the windshield much higher than my visor. I want it to be kind of like how a Bantam, you know, like a Bantam Roadster, modified Roadster vintage drag car is. They've got a little bitty visor right in front of them a lot of times, and they're round because those are round, but these are square. So I think using this, cutting it down to a little bitty visor, like just over my eyes, and then the cage is over my head, puts me right in that same era. I tried to stick with the shape of like a Shirley Muldowney cage from mid to late 70s. It's coming together. It's looking like a machine that could have been. I'm falling in love with the thing. Now that I've got a factory Jeep in here and then my little hot rod pieces that I can stack together into something, I feel like I can really stand back and see the comparisons of what are iconic about the Willies that I do definitely want to change. I really don't like the fit and finish on it. I think I can pull something off a little cleaner, and being able to walk just across the shop and take a tape measure and all my poster board and trace all the shapes that I need to translate out of my scrap pile. I want to use as much of this original body as possible. I have cut every piece of Willie steel on this that isn't completely rusted through where it's unusable. The rest of this steel is all scrap metal that we found over at Ruthie's dad's house. So it ended up being the exact same thickness, like probably an 18 gauge or so. It's all welding together well, and I'm really starting to dial into a shape that I see as a contender for the Legends Tour. I wanted to show up with an art car to represent who we are, but now that I keep standing back and looking at the paper, comparing it to what I'm getting in reality, I'm not gonna have to adjust a lot from this second draft. I'm piecing this together and I've locked into a machine that wants to exist. As soon as I got steam built up on this project, of course, we get a curveball thrown our way. I've been really taking time to set and soak in the moment on this project. I've been taking time to pray or get in a meditative state, whatever you want to say. I've been getting my mind completely blank and really trying to ask for a vision the whole way. And all I've said the whole time is, if a vision is sent, I will make the steps. I don't care how hard it looks, I'll do it. Just please show me a path. And as I was making the hatch, it came so fast and just was piecing together. That windshield frame that they sent us from Eagles Mirror was so nice that I was just excited to piece that hood hatch together into what I seen in my head. And as soon as I got it all together super fast, I was like running inside to tell Ruthie, "You're not gonna believe this, I've already got this done. I thought this was a couple-day job. I'm just crushing it." And I paused, I put my head on the grass out there, and I just prayed to not make this too easy. I want this to actually soak in the impact of my effort this time. I don't want to just make a car that people look at. I want to make something that actually leaves an impression and shows that from nothing at all, you can build a special place in this world. And as soon as I stood up and walked inside to tell Ruthie to come out and check out what I did, I broke my foot. And I broke my foot walking on the sidewalk, doing nothing. So it was kind of a shot. I mean, it did feel like there was a sniper on my roof just trying to take me out, is what it felt like. And when I stood up, I thought I can just walk this off. This is no big deal. And then when Jimmy came out and kind of looked at me, he was like, "Daddy, I need to help you to the car. Like, I think you're hurt. We need to go to the hospital." So we headed to the ER, and they told me I had a broken foot, which on day 50 of a 100-day project isn't what I wanted to hear. But it started to kind of lock into me mentally of, is this really what I want to do with my life or not?
Oh, man. Come on, I broke my foot. Not even working on the car either.
Daddy.
Walking down the porch.
I'm just helping, Daddy.
Thank you, hon.
Let's go see.
Start there and then work your way out.
What we're gonna do is, alright, do you think that you could hang your leg off
You
of
want me
here?
to
So that's how you know that it's hardening. Okay, and if you could you hold that? Oh, no, I was talking to your other arm. I'm gonna reach behind you. I should have unraveled these before I started, but 5'11" and a half.
Nope, you're hurt.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right. Okay, we don't need to do a crutch demonstration.
That's some future wheelie bars. Let's go back to Acre and build something. Just want to come out here before I go in. Got a doctor's appointment. Well, we got to call the doctor on Monday. I don't even have one yet. Hopefully get me a more permanent boot. They got it wrapped up, but I'm gonna have to safely like sleeve it until Monday
and I'm gonna have to take it easy. They told me to stay off of it, so I gotta find a job mentally to do in here sitting down, because I can't stop progress. We got 50 days to go. And at least I'm not by myself this time. I got Ruth, I got them 2 kids, and Jimmy just told me that he's got my back. So, makes me want to cry a little bit, but he said, don't worry about the car, Daddy, I got your back. So, we're in good hands. We got a whole little lot of legends here, not just me. This gives us a chance to show it. Well, that's what I want to show you. Hey, this is kind of nice though. I got extensions on my arm.
Silver lining, right?
There's gonna be some massive positives having these crutches around. Like, watch this. Aw! Unplugged, like nothing.
Golly, you're gonna end up tearing stuff up more now.
So if someone comes in here, like, they're like, ooh, this guy's on crutches. We can take advantage of him. Oh crap, look at the length I got on you.
God.
I spent my whole high school on crutches. I have Osgood-Schlatters disease, so I have growths in my knees. I never was a runner or nothing. I always had to sit and take it. So guess what? God built a machine right here to deal with all these problems organically. I have a mess, thankfully. I gotta get cleaned up. I'll do that tomorrow. And then I'm gonna end up setting a little station up right here. Thank God I don't have any cars to move. And I'm just gonna put me a little welding area here, pattern and making area. And then I'm gonna worry about keeping all of this U-shape clean so I can roll around on my office chair. Because I'm thinking if I can put this knee in an office chair, I can push myself around, is what I'm hoping, so. Wish me luck, y'all. We'll get back to it in here.
Oh my goodness.
You know, when I got that video clip from Ruthie from you in the hospital, I didn't think of, oh, he's gonna stop the project now. All I thought was, there goes the perfect build scenario where you get to be home every day. You got the vision, you got the parts, and all you get, it's like downhill. And then now you came downhill from your stairs onto a broken foot. I knew and I know that you're gonna keep building and keep going. But from your side of the table, did you think of it as just another big obstacle, or did you ever really think this was almost a message to stop, even though I don't think nothing can stop you?
Yeah, I giggled at first because I literally prayed to ask for an opportunity to show what I'm made of. And here is a direct delivery from a higher power. I do believe that. I believe universe, something, God, something's out there sending me this stuff. I'm not that good. I'm not. I know I'm not. I thought immediately, as soon as I stood up and felt that I'd broke my foot, that here it goes. There's my chance. I got the perfect recipe to win this thing. I feel like I can win this thing. I do. And I'm doing it with my wife and kids this time. They're this close, and now this is how I'm gonna let them down? I ain't even gonna let them down from falling off the car or from burning myself, or I'm walking on a sidewalk. But if that is what I need to do to show what I am made of, that's what I ask for. So if I'm asking for the opportunity to show my best at my lowest, well, be careful what you ask for. But I felt like it was a true test of what I am for myself, and maybe this is the opportunity to stay locked in a shop and have a reason to not go anywhere and do anything. I have Nevin's Jeep kind of staring me in the face. I have a brand new sewing machine, and now I have a foot to pay for. So on top of a Hot Wheels project and a broken foot, I've also got to figure out how to fit an upholstery job into this process too. So I don't really have time to stop and think about everything that's going wrong. I have to act and adjust right now to pull this off one limb down. end up having to make the structure piece and then one. Chicky, you want to set that real quick? Does it have to stick down?
Hello.
There's a lot of room in there, ain't there? More than you think. I've got the sheet metal repair done here. I still have to do these front fenders, but I think I want to go ahead and get this like mount locked in place. And then what I'm going to do is take this quarter and fix the rust repair here on the table before I cut it to shape and weld it on. That'll also allow me to take that other quarter, because it has this curve still in it, but it's missing this dip. I still think it's gonna be easier just to make one dip than try to make the whole thing. So I'm gonna bring that other quarter in here too, straighten it up, rust repair it. So I have 2 quarters sitting here ready to weld together. And then I'm kind of thinking about maybe bucking up the rear, like tack it together here, but not weld it to the car. So we can take the whole rear end, attach it to that table. I can weld it all really, really nice, and then just bring the front and back half together and weld together, you know, at the very end. Once I have pretty much all the rust repair done, then all I'll have to do is come in and fix these fenders. But I kind of want to hold off on that to decide what shape the back's going to be, because I need complementary shapes from here on out. And right now I have round, I have round, I have round, and then the bottom of that fender is square. So I know I have to shape it, but I kind of want to shape it around these shapes that we end up with, whatever they are. And that's what we find next. Wish me luck. I'm going to commit to cutting this quarter 5 inches shorter because I want it to look a little bit more streamlined on the back. I don't want it to look like we're carrying so much weight behind the engines. That'll allow me to get in here, which I think gets me kind of like sporty looking. A little bit more streamlined. And then the little tonneau cover is just this big, and then the 2 hood scoops are this big, which look appropriate. And I think I'm gonna make this tonneau open so I can fill my fuel tank up. That'll let me put kind of a firewall between these doors and this tonneau cover too, because I can put a crossbar with a piece of, you know, aluminum or something to keep the fuel away from the engines. And then that can kind of be the cockpit that I make separate, you know, I mean, it's not a trunk or a truck bed, but it's just like a little area, a hatch area that maybe we could put. It doesn't need a battery, so I don't know what you'd keep in there. Maybe a chainsaw, you know, get out on the road and a tree down, get to it in this and need to cut a tree down. That's all I can really see needing to do. So little cargo area. I think this is the line I'm going for. I like it. Today's the day I have to commit to it. It's Saturday and Monday is 40 days and 40 nights, which the goal for 40 days and 40 nights is to have the raw silhouette of this day. And then that'll be the end of this episode. So this will all end structured up and ready to do all the final touches and the pretty part on the next episode after that. It's coming together. This episode's been fun though. Adventure, and if I ask the universe for the opportunity to show what I'm made of, this ought to do it.
I welded this piece of tubing in there, and that's what I'm going to use to slide two together. I gotta cut this still to get my angle, but I'm gonna do it like that. Oh, look at that quarter panel. Patched all together from scrap panels. Pretty cool. It's actually nicer than the good side. Proud of that.
That's what you got. You got it. That's what you got. It's never about it. It's always like into it.
I have got that fender committed to. I end up coming up with a trick little way to make that corner. I don't have any fancy metal shaping tools, but I went in the scrap pile and I had a piece of exhaust tubing that I cut in 4s. I'll show you. I drew out in 4s. I shouldn't say I cut in 4s, but I'm using these curves as the edges. There's the rest that I'm not going to be using, to go from this. That exhaust tubing matches that curve perfect. So I cut it there. I got to cut a wedge here and then taper it in. And then that's the last panel that I have to shape. It's all committed to other than that. So that fender right there has to go in, like this one over here. I'm so happy with this thing. Whew, it's been brutal, and I'm not gonna lie, the whole 40 more days thing on these crutches is kind of scaring me, but what can you do? This is what the universe is dealing us, and I'm gonna play it. So, no folding for me. This side is committed to though, the package side of Hot Wheels. You see the taper in there, but there she is. I got this hood edge done. Came in here, look underneath, it's got the lip, really nice lip. Welded back there to the frame so it's all nice and straight. Then I notched it around this. That edge, I don't have a sheet metal brake. Eventually I will, but I ended up cutting that edge off of this flat screen TV mount out of the scrap pile. So the hood edges are that steel. I got this one done. Come over here, you can see this one. I just bent them like way too big. That's what we're dealing with before. See the gap? Just, I made it too small so it'd fit, and then I'll cut this out of here and it'll fit in there like that. I'll notch it just like the other side. These are like the last few little gaps and details I gotta focus on. I got a sliver right here I gotta detail. These corners, I gotta fill these holes, and then I'm down to pretty much like these edges. I don't like this, so I'm gonna go from this curve and make me a nice pretty transition into that fender here, just so the front has a really pretty smile, like a grin, instead of that, you know, right now it looks like Cruella de Vil's face to me, or like the evil woman off of the Emperor's New Groove, you know, how their face goes up and like this. I don't want that. I want, you know, smile. So I gotta get that shape in there. And then I've got to add a little piece of round rod that I do not have. So I'll have to look around on the property and see if maybe there's another shepherd's hook or something I can scab.
No.
The cameraman's shaking her head no.
Yeah.
She got mad at me because of the perfect bar that I used for the tail end. This guy right here, right there, used to hold Mama's flower pots, but it's gonna live there kissing
didn't
my
know
butt
where it
forever.
Rude.
Smacking my booty forever, baby. I love you. Hey, when I married you, what did I say in my vows? All I said was it would be hard, but an adventure.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
You regret saying I do?
No, but don't mess with my stuff.
Well,
I don't like that.
our stuff, honey. I
That
do.
was not yours.
I'm having trouble running away from the sun. So I'm gonna scoot this thing in here. I need to turn Nevin's rig around because now that I've used his Willie's as reference on everything. Every time I've needed to pull a real pattern, I haven't trusted the scrap pile pieces. I've went back there and pulled it all to make like these quarters and everything. So without that thing in there, I'd have been in bad shape. And before we send it home, I think I'm gonna climb up in the rafters and see if I got some material to make old haystack a little nicer.
We'll see.
Plus, I got that NC sewing machine over there and I need a warm-up job before I go trying to pump out a legendary upholstery job. So I think old haystack back there would look good with some new seat covers. Nevin probably like it too. Watching them, and last night one was chasing a spider around, and that spider was so feisty. Okay, slide it away from the ring.
Okay, that's it for Chili Willy. What is this spider?
Just right there is fine.
You guys back up. Hey, it's just in case something breaks or something, okay?
Okay, Jimmy, this has to get pushed under.
You guys will help me get off the Jackson? Watch out. He can Okay. I'll do.
As much as the broken foot probably looks like a massive obstacle that'll crush all the momentum we have going, I have found a way to thrive in the low because I'm actually having fun jumping around and rolling on my chairs in the shop, and I've got to put a system together to where the kids can help me clean up every day too, so it actually has got them around me more. The broken foot was a blessing for the project. Every single little piece that I locked into, I had to stay there all day. I couldn't stand back and change my mind 5 or 6 times. I really had to think and process everything out before I laid the tools down to do every little body panel, every little bracket. I've been forced to really soak in this project and it become a part of me. It's like, since I was a limb down, I grew an extension of myself like a lizard's tail or something in the form of this Chili Willy. And I've got to do it all right here in front of the kids, and they get to see, like, no matter how hard you get hit, you can keep going. And not just keep going, you can survive or you can thrive, and we're thriving out here in the trash. And that is the whole mission of what I am doing here. I'm homeschooling my kids, and I'm raising them in a shop and around skills they build with their hands. My whole goal is to invest all this time in my kids to inspire y'all to invest in your kids, so the future of America is standing strong on the trades industry. Nevin's little Jeep is named Haystack. It's got a unit on the back so it can use a power takeoff, and it's pretty much a tractor. So I wanted to do a little interior in it that would give back to that name Haystack. So I dug in the rafters and we found some of this like wicker material. I use it in a lot of Nevin stuff. I really like it. It's called Muse. And it's a pattern that I really think gives back to a sophisticated outdoorsman, which is what I see Nevin as. So I wanted to give back to the browns and tans and make it look like something that, I don't know, one of Willie Nelson's buddies would drive.
I got the material cut for the front seats, like this portion here, and then the cushion portion, and then all of the skirts like this, I'm gonna do in that buckskin color. Right now I'm trying to decide how to break everything, how to make it look. I think I'm gonna cut welt cord and potentially do welt cord in here. Here's my only concern with welt cord though. This, you're gonna roll over the edge a lot, ain't you? It being a utility vehicle. I need to, that's why it was a reinforced seam. I need to fold it and do a reinforced seam. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to find a dark thread or maybe a lighter thread, something to contrast this a little bit, because I'm gonna sew 1-inch pleats, real thin pleats, and in the middles of all the seats, and then the sides of it will be smooth, like the edges of it will be smooth in this color, and then that'll meet the buckskin border. I think that'll look really slick anyway. And I'm so excited to fire up this NC sewing machine. Got it all cleaned up, set up, ready to get dripping. All right, I'm gonna get to some foam. Okay. Slick machine. It's working great. I'm not used to something being so like tight and nice. My other one sounds like a factory. This one's just nice and smooth. You gotta hold the thread to keep tension, keep it from binding up. I put a piece of tape there as reference, but this machine's nice because this thing back here is actually perfect 1/2-inch seam allowance. That's what I'm used to making everything. And it's got a push down back stitch, which I love. I hate the handles you gotta pull up. I like that I can just press it down. Listen to this thing. We can have a conversation while this thing's going on.
It is quiet.
The other one's like a high school marching band coming through the shop. Trent's gonna like this for the videos. And I don't have to stop working when people need to be talking. Thanks, Mal. High quality machine from a high quality human. Get yours today at NC Sewing Machines. Got the front seat frames all stripped down and painted. I'm gonna get this back one painted tonight. I got all of the plates sewed up. So tomorrow, all I gotta do is sew the sides on and throw it back together. Oh, I ran over my own foot. Let's break the other one. But I got all these done, so all I gotta do is sew sides on them. But I wanna make sure that I've got these plates fitted to whatever foam I finish for these seat frames. I can't really do that until the seat frames are painted and used all my paint because I dropped the freshly painted frames earlier. So this is take 2 on painting the frames, but this is the last time I'm gonna do it. Then tomorrow, we're good to wrap it up. We just heard from Nevin. He actually wanted to be able to pick it up in the next few days, so we're a little ahead of schedule, his time frame. He's gonna be taking it to a little festival, it'll be fun. I can't wait to see him out in this thing. I love it. And maybe this winter he wants to have some off-road adventures with
another Willys from the area. I'm kind of excited to get back going on it. I got one more day on this, and I'm back on this machine. Upholstery of the stars, right?
Yes.
One limb down, still handling it. With ease. I just can't stand my new seat going over that primered tank. Everything else, all the other accessory stuff's black, so figured since we got a little left over, fix this tank up. Hope you like black, buddy. I'm gonna miss this little thing. I like this Jeep a lot. Hey, we got our own now, I guess. Keep forgetting. So this material here on the bottom is stuff that you put in like the liners of the drawers in your house. It's like an anti-slip stuff. And it's got the little holes in it too, so, you know, they can dry. With this thing, I want them to be able to hold up. I don't really want to put them on boards and then they mold. I got one more to glue. I'm going to bind them with my NC carpet binding sewing machine. Thing's slick. It's making everything just go by so smooth. So I really feel like it sped the job up like twice as fast. Needed to upgrade that a long time ago. If y'all are using an old machine, make the switch. It's worth it. For sure. Thank you, Mal. Hooking me up, buddy. These too. Jeez Louise. Like, I always go in here after I do this, and then all these little burrs, like this little, you know, fuzz, I go in and trim. And this stuff is like a barber shop. Look at that. Just takes it right off. No hesitation at all. I'm used to the old school, like, what are they, Wiz or something? You know, the big black metal ones. That's what I've used my whole upholstery career. That's what's wrong with my thumb. So these bad boys right here, everybody start now. All we gotta do is get these seat covers on, and Nevin's got a Majik back.
Me choosing a life through the trades industry is what set me in a position to where on a low time like this, with a leg down, all of the time I spent at Wyotech investing into my head and my hands has got me covered in a time like this. Because not only did I sheet metal and get a draft of the real deal Chili Willy, what history's gonna know it as, I've also Got a brand new NC sewing machine and a Wyotech Hall of Famer in my shop to do an upholstery job on this episode too.
I'm going ahead and getting the back seat inserts sewed up. So I've just got a pile of all that done. Then I can bring the brown out, the tan that I'm gonna put around the sides. I'll cut all the skirts and sew them. I've got the foam cut for the back seats. Got a few bolts to put in, and we'll have some seats today. Maybe we'll deliver it back. I need to practice loading and hauling with my bus on crutches. Okay, so this will be the rear backrest inserts, rear cushion, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut these for the sides as well. These pieces, got 2 smooth sides on each of the seats. Get that sewed up, and then we're down to the brown. Once the brown goes around the edge, got all the new stainless hardware. Stuff before was all rusted, so me and Ruthie ran to town. Got some stainless hardware to put it together with, and I'll be ready to go back home. We'll miss the little guy, but let's enjoy the moments we have while we do, because this interior is getting ready to look really cool. That was the foam left over from his van. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
He's saving a fortune on this one. I got one more cushion, one more of these. Then I'm done, ready to install.
Well, now I know that I can use a sewing machine with my left foot. I've never done that before, and I pulled off a beautiful interior, probably the nicest one I've ever done. If I had to rely on my old machine to pull this off one leg down, I'd have been in trouble. So thank you so much, Mal, for sending us the equipment to do these jobs right. So this is the first time I've tried driving too. I haven't loaded anything up on the bus since I broke my foot, but I need to practice. I need to get in the swing of this and not be scared to. So I called Trent and Darian and asked that they'd ride along with me and Jimbo and get this thing delivered back, and you know, cover any slack that I've got.
You see why does it smell good in here? It always smells good in here.
This here?
That's our shop fragrance.
Well, I tell you right now, if we could get a sponsor for Boot Goop going, it'd probably be the one that makes the most sense. I've kept them in business the last 15 years.
Business.
So much better. Right here in the front, see these? The front feet slide into them, and then the bottom ones pop in. Okay? Ready? Grab it, slide it up there. This right here slides in that slot up there.
Missing fast shoe.
You got it?
Where's the back? He's actually the bus. Dad, feel the little more comes here. They're ready for the rest of the night.
I love this thing. I'm gonna bring you right up to these ramps. Go that way a little bit.
When I was a child, my family would travel down western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are worn. Daddy wants to take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. Oh, I'm sorry, my son, but too late in asking, since the Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Acre Hill, where the air smelled like snakes. We shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. Then Daddy wants to take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. Oh, I'm sorry, my son, but it's too late in asking.
Say hi to it.
Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. Then they tortured the timber and stripped all the land. Well, they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken. Then they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy wants to take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away.
Go scare it now. Go scare it.
That purr machine. Cool cat, you come on, man.
Look at that other one.
Need more?
I remember seeing that other one over there.
When I die, let my ashes float down the green
There's
river.
another
Let
one.
my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. And I'll be halfway to heaven, paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy wants to take me back to Hildenberg County, down by the Green River.
Laid all the way to the ground.
I'm sorry, my son, it's too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's gold train is halted, yeah. Mr. Peabody's gold train is halted, away.
How tough is that?
Mr. Peabody's gold train is halted, away.
Blue wagon too. From Exeter.
Labor part of this project is proven to be the hardest ever. I've got all these little pieces that had to come together, and it's all just time. It's man hours, and I am not the superhero that I usually am. I'm going slower, and I'm having to just keep my headphones in, ignore everybody quite a bit, and just jam out on this body. Ruthie's coming in and recording. Trent's stopping in when he can. But I'm not covering that part. I'm not worrying about it. I'm trying to lock in and really show up to Hot Wheels with everything I have in me this time. I want to let the dog off the leash and just let it all out this time. No holding back. I don't want to hear that it's just not enough. If anything this time, I want to hear I'm too much. So every single panel has to be touched and modified on this project. This has to be a full custom car. And it has to be something that when you look at it, does look like it's going fast, sitting still, like a Hot Wheels car needs to, hanging on the pegs. I need that. And to get that and pull it off with this machine, the concept and the name alone is worth diving in and spending all this extra effort on each one of these panels. The fenders, I want to taper at the bottom. I want to give a real dramatic look from every angle. And then the taper from the back really shows off the tracks. And it shows off the exhaust and the tanks and the scoops. Like every little piece is made to complement the next piece I'm gonna be making. It's not made to fit into anything in this world except itself. Just like me, not trying to be anything but me. And I want this Chilly Willy to stand on its own in a world that is starting to look the same. And as far as I'm concerned, in a raw, square, scrap pile coach building stage, it couldn't be no better.
Around that more, and it should be good. I'm gonna putty all of this, and then the scoop will be like this with a little lip, and then I'll make a piece of trim that has a hinge on it. That way there's no pressure on the fiberglass. The fiberglass is bolted to the trim ring around the side that has a hinge on the back. So you can open it, change your air filters, and work on the engine. Fancy. I've got the body about all welded up, probably 75% done. It's getting a little hot, so I wanted to move up here to these last two panels. I've got to cover these up here, which is going to allow me to move my front body mounts that I thought I was going to use to something inside here that I can hide. Once I get these pieces made, I can move my front mount around and finish the rest of my chassis. When I get there, the cameraman's gonna have to climb in here and really lock down on where the pedals are gonna be, where the steering's gonna be, and where the knee bar is gonna be underneath this panel I'm getting ready to put on. Because this front mount is now temporary, so this will get cut off and refitted. And these bars have always been temporary, but they're welded super solid and they're the most square things that I could build off of. So once all of the foot area is tied in to the front here, I'll be able to blow it apart for finish welding, prep, and paint, I guess.
It's gonna step right in without a sound and take her home and leave you sleeping on the floor and leave you dreaming about the one who left you for another. And when you're on the ground, he'll wake you up, say thank you, brother. Next time, hold your lover when Willie comes around.
It's a whole lot faster than polishing it too. And look, just with a Harbor Freight wire brush. That's an old, legally donated speed limit sign. I'd say that's gonna do the job for sure. I'll get this thing put together, and then that's one side down, committed to, and then I'll know what to make tomorrow on the other side. Which today, a lot of it was brain power. I spent hours just like really locking down, but it's looking cool. And see, this is how I'm gonna do all of the inside of everything. So when you look through and see it's not just gonna be aluminum, it'll be all hand turned, which shows the level of detail I'm willing to go to. It's not just brushed and rough looking. Get some shine out of it. It's gotta be a jewelry box, right? All right. See all that ugly nonsense right here? I'm trying to just simplify it and make it look like a toy. So all this, these are functional, but I'm trying to make them look like they're buried up inside the car and like other Heims joints are up in the car is what I'm trying to go for. But really, it's a hard tail. And then this goes and covers this up here. So all these parts and pieces go together like that. Speed limit signs. With the brackets on the ends of it to drop down to the chassis, I think would look really nice. And then I can mount the bottom of this base plate to this round tube on the back side. So it'll look like this. Imagine this is another scoop. So it'll be like that and like that. And then I have this piece of tubing right here underneath the backside, holding them on the back. And then the front, I can do a floating bar too.
And my idea here is to use some steel to make pretty much a ring of this to be the bottom of the sandwich. So that bottom piece would be steel like this. Middle piece is this. Top piece this. And then I would like to attach on the back side of that metal, that thick piece of metal flange that I'm gonna cut tomorrow, a hinge so we can lift it.
Picked up my shovel and I went to the mine. I loaded 16 ton of number 9 coal. The straw boss said, God dog your soul, you load 16 tons. So now what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. So St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go all my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when it was drizzling rain. Fighting and shooting is my middle name. Born in a cane break by an old mama line. No high-toned woman can make me walk the line. I load 16 tons. So what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. So St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go all my soul to the company store. You see me coming, you better step aside. A lot of men didn't and a whole lot of them died. One fist of iron and one of steel. The right one don't get you, boy, the left one will. So lose 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. So St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Right now, all I'm worried about is figuring out this exhaust. I'm going to dive in this tank, prepare for California. Hey Trent, cue the music, buddy.
I feel so blue and lonesome since my girl ran away. I'll go back to my old home, not care for one more day. The road back to Kentucky, it seems so far away. Then everybody knows I'm a rambler anyway. Well, if you lost your old love, she sent you on your way. You can try and take your chances with that old guitar and play. Those Jimmy Martin G-runs, it turns all those heads your way. So why not do what you live to do, even if you don't get it? I'm a bluegrass man, that's just who I am. I've had a life of blues and sorrow, but that's the life of a bluegrass man. Sunday, my old dog ran away. Then I got thrown in prison, and I had dues to pay. When I got out, everything had changed, and I had no place to stay. But that's alright, because you know that I like living the bluegrass way. I've traveled around the country, and I've seen all I could see. Near crowds with lots of people, that Martin on my knee. One thing that I know for sure is
hope y'all enjoyed that episode. To date, that has been the hardest episode to make for y'all to check out. And because of the struggles we've had on this episode, I've adjusted our timeline just a little bit. Instead of trying to become a legend in Nevada, we're gonna scoot one state over into California. El Segundo stop is October 4th, which lands us at the Hot Wheels headquarters. And I figure, you know what? Since they came to Indiana last year and said no at my home, let's see if we'll get a no at their home. See you on the next one, guys. Wish me luck.